Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Do you want some coffee, Mr. Tully?
Do I?
Yes, have some.
Yes, have some.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yes Have Some podcast. My name is Craig Goldberg. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here on a Monday night. Super excited about recapping 2024, talking about what's coming up for 2025. The thumbnail we used for this episode has people nervous. I can't wait to talk about it. And welcome to the show, everybody. Joining me, as always, my co-hosts, Abigail Gardner. What's up?
Hey, from the other room. Good to talk to you. Although I've been talking to you all day. Jacob, it's good to see you. I like your Congo sweatshirt. Looks good.
Thank you.
That is a top-tier sweatshirt.
It is. Yeah, I love it.
I love a great promotional sweatshirt. Jake.
Yeah.
We have a tradition of getting on some pretty deep eBay rabbit holes, looking for promotional merch. I saw one in our Discord, which is exclusive to the YHS Patreon. Did you see what Jason Grahowski got this week?
Oh yeah, I did.
He got
pretty cool.
He at a Goodwill. He got I'll have to get up the image here in a second. He got like a light up display VHS poster for The Naked Gun, and it's not like a poster. It is like a sign. It is not just the shape. It's not even shaped like a poster. It is a promotional item that would have been sent to video stores to hang. Yeah,
I need to see that.
It's very.
I'm gonna
I kind of want that.
I don't remember which room he posted it in, but I'll find it over there on Discord. But Jacob, how are you?
I'm good. Just hanging out, getting ready had to go back to work today, and that's never fun, but it actually was a good thing because I've been doing this thing for the last week since I been out for vacation and for Christmas and all that, where I haven't been like getting out of my bed. Have you ever done that? I got extremely sick during Christmas vacation, and I did this thing where I brought this big stack of books to my mom's, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna read all of these books while I'm here, and then immediately got like the worst cough I've ever had in my life. I think I probably had the flu, still battling it, but it just made me want to do nothing but sleep. And then I came home from my mom's and then had like a normal weekend here at home. But I literally spent the whole weekend I don't think I left my bedroom this weekend.
I remember I called you at one point. You were like, is that you?
I mean, that kind of sounds awesome, but also I'm sorry you weren't feeling well.
Well,
you were doing a Count Orlok voice?
It's like it is awesome, but then it's also not awesome when this is probably, when you're like, oh, this is the longest amount of time of the year where I don't have to do anything. It's like, we go on a lot of vacations, but this is a vacation where you don't have to be somewhere. You don't have to get up and go see things. You have to be around people. You have like a whole week to like not do anything. So I was like, I'm going to catch up on Animal Crossing. I'm going to read all these books that I've been buying over the year. And instead, I watched like all of Seinfeld in a week and just was sick and coughed myself into like a bruised rib.
Oh
man.
And then today I had to like make myself get up and go to work, and it like felt good to be like, oh, I have purpose.
Yeah. I'm part of society.
Yeah. This hasn't been the end of me. Yeah. I know that feeling where it's like your head's too congested to actually, like, at least for me, to like sit and read. It's not as fun. And it's not as fun to play Animal Crossing. So I understand watching Seinfeld. It's very comforting. It's kind of what you want when you're sick.
Super congested for the last couple weeks. I've been, when you get like a new symptom you've never had in your life and you look it up and you're like, shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, that was me last night.
I was like, huh, I don't remember ever hearing my heartbeat in my ear before. Let me look
am I
that
supposed
up.
to? What? Oh, hey, this is no lie. I was doing my annual Kubrick Christmas. I do it every
Aw,
year. It's like
I like
15
that.
years strong.
Mhm.
I was watching a movie, and then I heard this noise, and I thought it was my phone. I was like, you know how sometimes when you're scrolling and your phone will glitch and it will get caught like on an you'll like
Yeah,
hear an Instagram video even though
sure.
you're off it. I thought
Uh-huh.
that's what was happening. I was like, what is that? So then I paused the movie and I realized, oh no, I'm just hearing my breathing. My chest is rattling because I'm that sick that every time I breathe sounds like somebody's whispering to me.
Like a
Wow.
And I'm like,
chilling
oh,
sound
cool.
effect.
I was like, oh, this is death. I'm gonna
This
die.
is the end.
Death rattle.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Glad you survived.
Yeah, glad you're here.
Somehow
Some-
I've survived.
Hey, don't even get me started. Abby and I watched The Last Jedi in its entirety the other night.
We sure
Why?
did.
There's
Yeah.
something fucking wrong with that movie.
I
It's
don't want-
worse than you think. But we'll get that going on another time. Maybe another episode. I don't know if we have
Mhm.
time.
I don't want to talk about. I'm not prepared.
Listen,
Yeah, me.
Can you guys see that?
Oh
my
my god.
God.
Are you kidding
So-
me?
Jason Grahowski, a friend of the podcast, member of the Discord, supporter for a long time, found this Paramount Pictures Naked Gun light up display. That's beautiful.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I
That's
like
awesome.
that.
So
I wonder, yeah. Is that the kind of thing you can change out what movie you have in there? Or
only Paramount
Mm.
movies.
Oh, it's us. I was
Yeah,
wondering if
no, I
there
don't
might be
think
other
so.
slides. Either way, it's awesome. I want it.
Actually, I would actually be interested to see what the back's like if it's like a McDonald's Translite. Like
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know where you
100%.
would find
It's 100% like a double-sided translate.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, very cool. Listen, before we get into, recapping our year and talking about the future and all that, we should plug the Patreon, right? If you want to support YHS, if you want to have a fun place to hang out, if you want the bonus content, patreon.com/yeshavesome is where you will do that. That's exclusively where you can get access to the Discord. It's really fun and it's a really great community. We're going to be talking about community a lot tonight, not the show. We're not going to be talking about Chevy Chase tonight. Actually, we might. You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're over Chevy. Patreon.com/yeshavesome. And so let's just get into it. So basically, we are live on YouTube right now. So if you are watching this live, if you're listening to this on the podcast app, or if you're watching it after the fact, what we always ask you to do is go ahead, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications. You will get those notifications when we have a new video, new content, and when we are going live. And all of this is leading to the state of the channel, which people are worried.
It's dramatic when you say it like that.
Yeah.
Guys, I got to get something off my chest or out of my chest. No, we basically, we've been really fortunate to be able to do YHS for the last going on 9 years. And it has been the absolute privilege of my lifetime. No, it's just been the most fun ever. And it's been the hardest we've ever worked on anything. And we put a ton into it and we get a lot out of it. And we love you guys and we love the community that we've been able to grow through all the different channels, whether it's YHS or Toy Anxiety or Monster Island or whatever. We've made a lot of great friends. We've had a lot of fun. We've really got to do these incredible, experiences. We've gotten to cover Ghostbusters like in a way that we could have only like dreamed of when we started YHS. So it's been really, really special and really fun and rewarding. And the thing is the landscape of podcasting has really shifted a lot in the last 5 years. We are in a streaming world. We are in a video world. And we've always been open to pivoting and trying new things and seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. Obviously, like Jake, when we started, YHS it was an audio podcast and that was it. We had a YouTube channel. We never really posted to it. And that was just, that was the origin of what we did here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm happy to say that we're going back to that.
No.
Your last time seeing us this year.
I'm tired of being camera ready 3 days a week. Do you know how stressful that is? Does anybody know how stressful that is other than Abby?
I know.
It is stressful. It really is.
It really is. So in spite of Jacob's stress, we're here to announce this evening that YHS Podcast, the weekly show, the flagship show, will be, drumroll please, I don't have one ready. We're going to be live every Monday night. We're still trying to figure out the exact time. It might be 7, it might be 6. Could fluctuate here and there based on what's going on. But just like Toy Anxiety is live every Tuesday night, YHS Podcast live every Monday here on YouTube. And really, Abby, we talked about this a lot. The reason for this is to grow the channel, to grow the community, and to kind of see, it really worked for us in the toy world. We have met so many amazing people and have made so many friends. And YHS being our Ghostbusters-centric content, our movie-centric content. This is where you want to come and talk about horror movies and Star Wars and DC and Marvel and all of that. We want to put our best foot forward and say, let's make a little bit of a scene. Let's do what we did in the toy world and let's disrupt, movie YouTube a little bit and see if we can't. Guys, I just want to
feel embarrassed for having
buzzwords.
No, I want a box. I want a box of free shit. I want to disrupt the industry.
I want to know if it keeps Craig up later on tonight, knowing he said, "I want to disrupt."
I do.
That's
movie.
Such a corporate word.
I do. I will disrupt.
Sound like such a Leonardo.
Dude,
I am a Leonardo, and people new or old will find that out. We all identify with various Ninja Turtles archetypes. But in all seriousness, I love live streaming. I think it's a fun way for the community to engage and have a destination every week. And Abby, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, I am too. We've been doing this format with Toy Anxiety, and that's just grown into a really awesome community. And Tuesday nights are something that I look forward to, and it's something regularly scheduled that you can anticipate. So I think that that's kind of what we're going for with these episodes being live on Mondays. We have something to do on Monday nights together, everyone.
Everybody's saying we're going to be competing with WWE. We will not be. Raw starts at 8. The plan is to be done by 8 every week. So it'll be a little bit of an earlier show. It's not going to be a late night thing like Toy Anxiety. But we're working on our schedules to make it happen. And
we're in talks with WWE to make sure that we don't overlap.
Yeah, we had a long discussion it was a one-way discussion with Netflix. But I'm really excited about it. And I think it's going to allow us to get more eyeballs on the channel. And hopefully, on top of that, the other plan, Jacob, that we are talking about and rolling out is to do more live streaming on kind of topical, relevant moments in pop culture. So more like trailer discussions and more like when there's breaking news, being able to come on here and get into it without waiting a week to record YHS and it's old news already.
I didn't agree to that.
It was literally your idea.
I took notes, dude. I have meeting notes.
I want to say something. You guys think
I didn't know
Dave's talking about how this is too much. He calls
Yeah.
me 2 weeks ago on 2:00 on a Wednesday. He's like, "Hey, dude, we got to start working harder." I was like,
we need to do more.
Fuck.
That's the Jacob. Call.
Honestly, the best part to me about this is that it gives us an obligation to not miss the show, because that always stresses me out. Or if we're running behind, I feel like it stresses me out more than any of the listeners. They don't care. I feel like nobody cares if you miss a day or if you're a day late or something. But I get I walk around my house and I'm like, well, it's Monday, no episodes out. Might as well call it a fucking show. Wrap it up.
Yeah. Did you just quote Philip Seymour Hoffman from?
I did. Yes.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah, because I could see you doing that. And hey, I understand. I have diagnosed OCD, so when it comes to keeping on a routine, that works for me. So I'm excited.
Yeah. No, it's going to be good. Well, I'm excited. I think, excuse me, the benefit will be that we can stay on top of all the breaking news. There's going to be a lot of news. It's got a big movie year coming up. There's rumors that Fantastic Four might be moving to November. I don't know if we'll get into that tonight.
From what, July? June
from July. It's a crowded July with Jurassic Park and what do you call it? Superman.
So they're going to move it back 6 months?
Maybe 4 or 5 months? I don't know. We'll see.
That seems insane.
We will see. But anyway, so that's kind of what the plan is as far as the content. And then Toy Anxiety will be the same. And I will say this, for the bonus episodes for Patreon, we'll probably do more bonus streams where we have a link that's kind of like unlisted and you guys can come join and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm excited. Abby, any other thoughts on that before we move on here?
I'm just psyched. I think it's cool that we have created a space for this, and that we're just kind of like pushing the what is the thing from the Star Wars Galactic Cruiser where it's like you push it, like we're pushing that button.
Light speed.
Hit it. I feel like that's what we're doing tonight. We're going into light speed.
The compressor.
Yeah, we're bypassing the compressor.
Another thing we should note as far as the live chat, we love that you guys are here. We will be interacting with you guys. But we're going to have like specific segments so we can make sure that our traditional audio listeners are not just going nuts with us, like shouting people out for 45 minutes. We will talk to you guys. Don't worry. You're here. You are seen. You have a voice. But more than anything, it's just going to be great. I'm excited. Jacob, any other final thoughts on going light speed?
No, it's just there's nothing really. No, I mean it's a big change, but also it's not a big change. Nothing about the show is changing. It's just it'll just be live. You can just watch it happen in real time, and Craig won't be able to edit things as much.
Oh, I'll try.
Ooh, it's unfiltered. Yeah.
Unfiltered.
Well, if you watch it live, you're getting the purest form of it for sure, not edited. So do that.
Yeah, and we will prove to. This is not pre-recorded. I feel like we need to prove to everybody that it's live. Sometimes we do a pre-recorded one, and we'll do like a premiere, and I can tell people think it's live. Sure.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yes, guys, we decided to interview Logan Kim at 8 a.m. on a Monday.
It's totally normal. Yeah, I don't know how to prove we're live, but we are.
Well, we could say that just believe us. We're live. It's 7:21 on a Monday. Okay. Christmas is over. 2024 is over. This has been a crazy year. I wanted to talk about Ghostbusters for a second because, part of what has kept YHS's like mojo going for the last couple of years has been this like dedication to covering Ghostbusters in the way that we like to cover it. Like we just do our own thing and we have all these great experiences and it's been amazing and fun. The truth is there's a chance we're going to have a little bit of a quieter period in Ghostbusters media. It might be 2 years before there's another movie or the animated series or the animated movie. It could be 3 or 4 years, right? So it's important for us to ensure that everybody here knows we are still as dedicated, obsessed, and committed to covering Ghostbusters as ever. But we want to be covering all of these, all these genres that we love. There's movie news every day. There's trailers. There's all this stuff. And it's a little bit, I think, of a breather for Ghostbusters. And I kind of wanted to talk about that. Like, Jacob, we've had these periods of time. Listen, by the way, they could announce a movie tomorrow. We could be dead wrong. But we've, 2017, 2018, 2019, like quieter time for Ghostbusters. Do you think that's necessarily like how do you feel about that? You think that's a good thing for the franchise right now?
Yeah, I think it's fine. I don't think anything needs to be rushed or put out just because, the franchise is kind of like on a roll or has been on a roll the last couple of years. I think it's completely fine. And I don't want to get like, Ghostbusters is one of my favorite things in the world, and I don't think I'd ever get burned out on it. But there are weeks where I'm like, cool, we don't have to talk about Ghostbusters this week. That's okay for me.
Sure.
I like to let it breathe and talk about other things and not feel like we need to like, like talk about like the most, minute like
right
things just to
to
say
create
we're
content,
talking about Ghostbusters because that's stupid. But so yeah, I think like Gil and Jason are they're really busy and Jason is they're really fresh off of SNL, which like might be like one of the best things Jason's ever done. It's amazing. SNL is so good. So
have you rewatched it yet?
No, because it's you still got it. Have you paid? What did you buy it? It's not.
No,
I don't think it's like streaming anywhere yet.
It's half price right now. I think on Prime. I think it's $10. I might go ahead and buy it.
Yeah.
I hope they do like a steelbook release for it.
Yeah.
But I just think like they're probably they're still like riding that and it might it doesn't feel like they would want to go right into Ghostbusters immediately. Sure. Maybe they want a cool down period or maybe they want to do something else.
Yeah. Right.
And I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I
mean,
like
they're going to get through
awards.
Abigail.
Just saying we're going into award season, so they're kind of riding that out, just like Jacob said.
Yeah, and I'm a little bummed because I'm seeing a lot of these like top 10 lists, top 10 movies of the year, and like Saturday Night's included in a lot of them, but it's not really. It doesn't seem like it's getting like that same amount of like awards chatter that. And I know like awards or whatever, but like I was hoping for them. Like, man, that cast, the music. The writing, the direction, the cinematography, like there's a lot to celebrate in that movie. Did you see Seth Rogen last week made a public post saying like it was his favorite movie of the year because it like celebrates comedy and like that's like high praise. So that's really awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It's definitely like a trip back in time. I'm looking forward to watching it again. And I just rewatched Frozen Empire. Craig and I did. And it was like 3 a.m. and I was just enjoying myself watching it.
It's so fun. It's just a fun movie. I when I rewatch Frozen Empire now, like I'm picking out more things that I don't think I noticed the first 12 times I watched it. So just like some of the way that the shots are orchestrated and how like you can say, oh, this is just like, the close up on the Manhattan Adventure Society plaque is just like a certain shot from Ghostbusters 1 and all that kind of stuff. But super excited to see what comes next for Ghostbusters. Animated movie, animated series. These things take a lot of time. I would be shocked if either of those are before 2027. I mean, they've been working on the third Spider-Verse movie for several years, and that's been delayed multiple times. So they want to get it right because I personally think like the most important thing for the franchise to do is to appeal to a younger, newer generation. I think animation's a great avenue for that, but you want it to be great. You don't want it to just be rushed out, drop on Netflix. Everyone's excited for 3 days and then everybody moves on. Like, want it to be special. So I'm cool with waiting. And also like it like elongates the ramp up for the podcast for us. Like we can, I'm looking at YHS year 15, like, yeah, Ghostbusters 8. Can't believe it. They're filming in Singapore. We're all going. So yeah, very cool stuff. Hey, I wanted to talk though about this year in general. Any favorite like memories of what things we did? Like I've been doing this best of on Instagram, kind of thinking about the premiere, stuff with Hasbro and Mondo, and does anything stand out as like a 2024 top tier moment?
When was the premiere? Was that this year?
March.
It's that. It's 100% that. It's the red carpet. It's everything that we got to do surrounding that I was watching the video the other night. First time since we did it.
The live stream.
Have I gone back and watched some of it? I skimmed through it, and man, that was a crazy night. We got to talk to a lot of people, and it was a lot of fun. So
it was pure fun. Enjoy.
I just can't imagine anything we ever do topping like the being on set stuff, but the close second is getting the access we were able to get at the premiere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As I'll go to you, Abby. We were kind of thumbing through some of the Firehouse Fridays videos, and obviously all that was recorded in 2023, but we released it this year. And being separated from it and watching it feels very out of body, because it's like, look at this. This is crazy. I'm so happy for myself and jealous of him. Past me. Look at him go.
Mm-hmm.
Abby, any 2024 standouts?
I mean, I echo what Jacob's saying, like that time capsule being something that's filmed and that's on YouTube that I can go and revisit. I think that's fantastic. I would say that, yeah, I would agree. Like the stuff that happened on that red carpet, interacting with Bill Murray and getting to talk to the actors in that capacity was just like a big check off the list of things that I've wanted to do. It was an awesome culmination of hard work. The moment that I like took off my nice high heel shoes and put on my tennis shoes and walked into the theater was a memorable moment of like, hey, now I get to relax and enjoy this movie.
In the front row.
In the front row again.
Hey, you know what else? You know what other thing I'm proud of this year that I really like that we got to do?
Yeah.
Get our 2 in the box like 3 months before everybody else.
Oh my God! Look at you guys. You guys thought Jacob Walsh was gonna slow down?
No. This is pedal to the metal.
Yes.
Warp speed.
Abby's still pushing the button. My favorite moment of the year was actually watching that girl on YouTube do that 14-hour video about the Galactic Star Cruiser.
Yeah, I love her.
That was great.
That was amazing.
It got
Jenny
Jacob
Nicholson. That thing was so good.
Jake, we drove to Ohio and back, riding on the wave of the Star Cruiser.
We did. Yeah, it was great. It was very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, just going back to what you said, I'm glad the 2 in the box debacle is. I'm just glad it's over. I think the way that everybody guys, it's a toy. It's a toy, but they're great. It's fantastic. Yeah. So echoing what you guys like, premiere was awesome. The party the night before was fantastic.
I was going to mention that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, any specific thoughts from that?
Let's see. It was just an amazing night of all of our friends coming together and contributing.
Literally around the world.
Yeah, from around the world into one spot. And it was just kind of a little Irish pub in Manhattan. And the excitement I remember of like standing, we were like up inside the bar looking down through the windows at the people that were attending, kind of lining up. And that was sort of a moment of like, hey, this is something like, this is a party that we put together and there's people coming in and it's really happening.
Well, it's stressful anytime. If you've ever played in a band,
the nausea was there, but also
nothing
the excitement.
Worse than you're the first band, doors are about to open and you look outside and nobody's there. It's a very unfun feeling.
Yeah. It's not real until the people show up.
That's true. Great event, great weekend. Super thankful to the YHS community for coming out and just kind of seeing some of the commentary in the chat as well as in the subsequent of the party, like the Discord and everything. Like for us, like to be able to do like those kind of events and like share it with everybody, like that's fucking great. I love it. It's I sometimes wish my parents understood, like, hey, we do, we're doing some cool stuff over here. We can talk about more than, we don't have to make small talk. I can tell you about this great party we had. You guys could come. That's gonna be a later therapy session. Kind of regret saying all that. But oh God, Abby's looking at me like we're live,
I know,
bud.
I'm like, hey, mama,
We're live.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Yeah, that was definitely a highlight. I was gonna say the other highlight, speaking of feeling nausea and excitement at the same time, for me would be at the filming that we did for New York City Comic Con with Hasbro, and going that day to like see the Ecto
The HasLab?
Yeah, the HasLab. Sorry, forgot
Yeah.
the name of the main thing.
No,
that
you're
was
good.
really, really memorable for me. And yeah, I remember getting really sick on the car ride over to do the filming on the way to Hasbro. And I was like, I just need to like kind of suck it up and go do this and turn it on. And we were able to like, y'all supported me and we did a good job and the campaign was successful and we're friends with Pat and Emily. And I love that.
We had a weird, the driver was kind of.
We were in one of those cabs that's not like a normal car. It was like an industrial tank where the heat was blasting.
I will say, I think all three of us, probably you two more than me, are a little sensitive when it comes to like a stranger driving.
Oh, like I get car sick.
You know what I mean? You guys get car sick kind of. I don't want to say kind of easy.
I do. If I'm in the
I
back
know,
seat,
I do. I have a weak constitution. I know.
Yeah. But also like anytime you're in the car with somebody in New York, people in New York drive. I don't want to say bad. It's just very different from how I think there was one trip we had to New York where whoever was driving, our Uber driver, was like talking to us about how he didn't always live in New York, and he was like, as soon as you move here, you learn how to drive like this. And he's like
a madman.
And he's like, it's like nothing to me now, but I know to you it's probably insane. And we're like, yeah, you seem like a crazy person the way you're driving.
Well, I got Jacob, I don't know if you remember the cab ride we took. It was a very long cab ride from our hotel to the Dinosaur Crystal Palace Park, whatever that was called in London.
Yeah.
We took a very long cab ride, and it was a very similar taxi cab where it was like just old and like smelled like diesel. And Jake, if you remember, I spent my first 10 minutes at the dinosaur park, hovered over a trash
toilet.
I do remember. Yep.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, let's go.
There's dinosaurs. You're being a bust.
Palace.
Hey, listen. We probably could have touched on this earlier. I think my favorite moment of the year was going to the set of Saturday night. Crazy fun experience.
Absolutely.
They filmed in Atlanta. Jason Reitman was kind enough to say, come by, hang out. We thought we were going for 30 minutes, spent the whole day there. Got to see,
became dear friends with cast and crew.
Oh, Willem Dafoe, my old pal.
Willem Dafoe, we're good friends with it. Yeah, I can't believe he's doing really good for himself. I just went
He's
on
great.
and I was like, look at Willem. He's
my other joke, this is way off topic, was that I was gonna do a documentary on The Last Jedi called Notes for Octo 2. Okay, moving on. Sorry, just ignore it. We're live.
I get it. No, I get it. I don't hate it.
I hate it.
It's more of that's something that you would, that's a tweet.
That's a tweet. Okay.
Because you need to read it spelled out.
Go to the set Saturday night. They were filming pivotal scenes. Got to watch the cast just do their magic. Got to watch Jason Reitman do his magic. Got to meet Gabriel LaBelle.
Watched his like Golden Globe nominated takes like on that performance, which
is crazy. Cool. It's fucking awesome. It was amazing.
We did get to see. It's really crazy because I feel like we were really fortunate with the days that we were on set for Ghostbusters. We got to see basically everybody and a lot of really great, stuff that ended up in the movie. And it was kind of crazy that I feel like if you're going to pick one day for SNL, we got to see a lot of also like important stuff get filmed and seeing the like Garrett Morris performance, which is like that whole scene in the movie where that happens, and then that scene with Willem Dafoe and Gabriel, like, it is like the crux of the film. It is like one of the most important parts in the movie, and we got to see that. We got to see them make that.
Yeah,
which is
it's
insane.
crazy.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
It was awesome. I think one of the highlights for me was being able to walk through the set, because, like I was saying, watching the movie feels like time travel, but being on that set felt so much like I was being treated to being at NBC Studios, like from that very era, from the 70s. Like, it smelled like cigarette smoke. I got to see all the lights and go into the mirror, like the makeup room, where there's like some pretty emotional scenes that happen. And for someone who likes like set decoration and old, like antiquated dead tech and stuff like that, I loved seeing that. I loved going into the room that has like all the buttons in it where the editors or whatever are in. That stuff was awesome.
Well, if you remember that morning, so like that first half an hour that we were on set, like you said, Craig, we didn't know how long we were going to get to be there. And when we first got there, we got taken into a room that had some monitors playing on it, and we watched first couple of scenes play on the monitors just in a room, and then didn't even notice for the first like 15 or 20 minutes that the windows in the back of the room looked out on the full set. So then there was a couple minutes where the three of us were like looking through the windows trying to see what we could see, and we're like, oh, it'd be really cool, if we could go out there. And then all of a sudden being like, oh, we're now on a tour through the entire set. And then Jason's like, hey, you guys could just sit here right here all day in the audience and just watch me.
Watch
me.
Give my gift to the world.
There was also a moment, and I'm sure you guys remember this, because to me it seemed kind of like the craziest moment of the whole day. But there was a moment we were sitting in the audience. We'd been there for hours at this point, just watching. I think already like Willem Dafoe had been sitting there for part of the day. There, and you're up like in the stands watching down.
Right, you're in the bleachers.
In the bleachers. And they're out there filming this big moment in the film. And there was a moment where they were taking like a break. Right. And do you guys remember like Jason like looked up at us and he was just like, he like gestured to us.
Yeah.
And we were all just kind of like,
I mean,
crazy. And it's like, this is crazy.
Yeah. And it sucked. I had a couple notes because they were having trouble getting the take and I was going to go down and,
Gabriel, let me be you for a second now.
First of all, the blocking's all wrong.
What if there was a podcast that opened the first out of SNL?
Yes. What if instead of Chevy's Chase saying
it was us?
Chevy's Chase.
What if Chevy Chase didn't say,
what if we did the news, the weekend update?
What if we did weekend update? Just an idea. It was awesome. It was incredible.
Yeah, awesome. As a huge fan of Gilda Radner, it was really awesome to get to see the performance. I can't remember the name of the person who plays her. Jacob, you might know. I can look it up.
Ella Hunt?
Yeah. I believe you're right, Craig.
Yeah, Ella Hunt.
Well, I don't know if we talked about this at the time because we tried to kind of keep it like under wraps till the movie came out and stuff. But the whole set was like a live mic, basically. And everybody, because they were capturing audio and video from every angle at all times.
So honestly, our voices are we're
in there.
We're in,
but we had live monitors. We each had personal monitors, and we could hear the audio of every take. And it was just forget that it's Saturday Night Live and it's Ghostbusters adjacent with Jason and Gil and Erica and all those people. Just being a movie fan. To get the chance to just visit a set is really, really like special. They do a lot of filming in Atlanta. I've been an extra on TV shows 2 or 3 times. And the only reason I did it was just because I wanted to go to a TV set and see like how the sausage was made. Being an extra is not so glamorous. You basically sit in place for 10 hours and then you walk onto a set and they do a thing and then you go home and like a month later, you get $40 in the mail. And you're like, I don't even know if it's worth my time to go to the bank and deposit this thing. But as a fan of production and TV and film, and I'm so addicted to just like understanding the way that it all happens. So definitely a huge moment. And right now I'm actually listening to a audiobook. There's this rumor going around that I don't read. It is a fake news, false flag. I'm just trying to use keywords here. It's a false flag.
Is this so you can hashtag false
Are
flag?
you disrupting the system?
Hashtag false flag. I do read, but I just don't read the same
You
kinds
just
of
don't
books.
read anything good.
Else. So I'm reading Jaleel White's autobiography called Growing Up Urkel.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to tell you guys, the way they make sitcoms is absolutely crazy. It's a good book. Maybe we'll get him on the show to talk about it. You never know.
It could happen.
I almost bought that Urkel doll on eBay yesterday. I'm in an Urkel mood right now.
Okay, cool.
So anyways,
Oh.
anything else? 2024? Do we want to look ahead? What are we looking forward to this year? There's a big year coming up.
I don't know, man. I haven't given the happenings of 2025 too much of a thought yet. It's like I'm just gonna let it slow roll at first. I feel like Japan is so daunting, and Japan is taking up all the space that I have in my head.
It's also not that far away.
It's not, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like Japan's very quick, and there's a couple other things that YHS is working on that literally have 120% of my attention right now.
Right.
I can't think about what movies are coming out, what conventions we might be at. I'm not going to be able to do any of that until I get back from Japan. If I come back from Japan.
If you come back. Abby, what are the odds that Jacob just doesn't get on the plane coming
Dude,
back?
we could lose him. He might leave us, honestly.
Yeah.
And I might too. I hope I fall in love with the place. That's what I think it's gonna happen.
I hope I fall in love while I'm there.
Not like that. No, just like I hope I'm able to have a really awesome experience of personal growth and seeing things that I've always wanted to see. So I personally am looking forward to that.
Hey, you know what has been on my mind that has nothing to do with 2025, and I'm gonna maybe derail a little bit.
Cool. Yeah.
What's that?
Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah. Hey.
I feel like
you're gonna do it.
I feel like I'm gonna do an Eyes Wide Shut. I feel like I got a little
angry.
I got a little obsessed with Eyes Wide Shut last year when I watched it for Kubrick Christmas, and that was last year was the first time I had ever given that movie a rewatch.
Okay.
And it is such a Christmas movie. It's maybe the ultimate Christmas movie. There's more Christmas trees in Eyes Wide Shut,
prettiest ones,
than probably any other movie put together.
Okay.
And it was just on my mind. I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it another rewatch. I'm going to watch it this year. And then I started listening to the Rewatchables talk about it.
Okay, that's a good podcast.
And I started looking at YouTube videos about it and reading all of the conspiracy theories that at the time were conspiracy theories, but maybe now in 2024 might seem more real than ever. All the people, all the the rumors about famous people being gross and child trafficking and throwing crazy parties and having islands where they do crazy illegal shit. It's like, oh, it's weird now watching a movie like this that was made, years ago.
25 years ago?
Yeah. Where now so much of that stuff is just like out in the open and it's like big deals now. And then reading about all the stuff that Stanley Kubrick possibly caused Tom Cruise's divorce with Nicole Kidman, and hearing about how he made them basically do therapy sessions with him and tell him all their secrets, and then he filmed Nicole Kidman making out with a hot dude for like a week
Right.
and wouldn't let Tom Cruise in the room and wouldn't tell Tom Cruise what they were filming and made it like just like
It's so crazy because
He talked to more people than just Shelley Duvall. It sounds like he's got pattern behavior.
A lot of this sounds like the Jeffreys, like what goes into making this.
Well, but what I thought was really interesting listening to the rewatchables is them talking about how when that movie was made, it was right after Tom Cruise had just made Mission Impossible 1.
Right.
And they were like, he was the biggest he's ever been. It was like the biggest time in his career that it's ever been. And in the middle of like the summer, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman signed up for 6-month shooting schedule. And then it took over 2 years. They're like, Stanley Kubrick just took Tom Cruise off the map of making films for the biggest time, during the biggest time in his career for 2 full years. And they're like, what a fucking like flex that is to be able to do that. And Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise were like, well, it's Stanley Kubrick. We don't care. You do what he wants you to do. And,
I mean, there is a litany of conspiracy theories, rumors of cut scenes, rumors that after Kubrick died, the studio recut it.
Yeah.
Things out
because he died like 6 days after the movie was done, or something like that. Like a really quick. He died. I think it screened once or something, and then he died. And then there's rumors that they like really recut the movie after that. But nobody knows, and it just all the fact that there's so many weird questions and stuff about it that makes me more obsessed with it. Hey, also it's amazing. It's really great. It's such a fun movie. And I feel like the first fun's probably not the word. I feel like
I hear you say that and I'm thinking about like the emergency doctor scene up in the bathroom.
Oh yeah. In the first 10 minutes. I feel like the first time I watched that movie, I didn't care for it, but it was so long ago.
Sure. I mean, Kubrick's entire career.
I remember thinking it was anticlimactic and a tease because I was anticipating more disturbing stuff and more footage, more revealing stuff.
Yeah.
But also really enjoying it.
With Kubrick specifically, here's the interesting thing about Stanley Kubrick. Here's the one interesting thing.
The one thing is it.
A lot of people don't know.
The one thing is that Denzel Washington has no idea who he is. A very singular-minded, singular vision, a visionary director, right? Like there's no other Stanley Kubrick. There's nobody who's like his successor. There are directors who have put their stamp on like their style, like
but there's nobody. Yeah, but there's nobody who Tom Cruise is going to let make him do a scene 56 times of him just walking through a door. Because it's like they know that it might sound insane, but then in the end you have like The Shining.
I mean, we should do an episode just doing all of the
mental duress, though, is intense. And not to go into Tom Cruise's life too deeply, but
let's do it.
Scientology,
we gotta disrupt.
There's some shit that goes down. I've watched documentaries.
We should do an episode just all about Tom Cruise.
Not be bad idea. Say we should do an episode where we go to a Scientology center and see
if we can sign up.
Yes.
Clearly, I'm the one who would walk out and be like, I don't know, guys. I feel pretty good.
Craig's the one that would join.
Well, when I visit my mom and we're watching like the local channels, there's always, because my mom lives in like Central Florida, and I when I was down there for Christmas, we're just watching TV, and there's just ads for the Scientology Center. There's like full on serious commercials where they're like, "Hey, come try this out. It's called Scientology," and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Okay, try it out. There's a lot of conspiracy theories surrounding Stanley Kubrick, his movies in general. Obviously, like people pick apart The Shining and look for hidden messages. And I mean, I think the most famous is that, and listen, I don't believe it, but I want to so bad, that Stanley Kubrick filmed the moon landing and that it was faked. Like I would, if I found out tomorrow that was real, I would be like, yes, that's awesome. That's crazy. It's probably not. It's likely not. But I want to believe it. But I wonder what the origin of so much conspiracy and mystery around Kubrick in general. And I haven't seen all of it. I mean, there's plenty of. I haven't seen every one of his movies. So
I haven't either. But I feel like I need to make an effort.
Do a dive
because there's not a ton. He didn't make a ton.
What's the one? I want to be one of those guys who's like Barry Lyndon's my favorite film.
It's probably great. I've heard it's great.
I've never seen it.
Like I haven't
Watch
either.
it tonight. Next week, YHS Live Barry Lyndon review.
Out of the three of us, do we even know what it's about?
1975.
I have no clue.
Historical drama.
How many movies did he make? Well, like
based on an 1844 novel.
9 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're looking Eyes Wide Shut, Full Metal Jacket, The Shining, Barry Lyndon, A Clockwork Orange, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Doctor Strangelove, Lolita, Spartacus, Paths of Glory, The Killing, Killer's Kiss, Fear and Desire.
Some of those are, I think, producers though.
Okay, they are listed.
Here we go.
On the internet as his movies.
Director. There we go.
Director. There you go.
Okay.
But that was mostly directed. Yeah. I wish I would have done Barry Lyndon. It's such a good filmography. I've never seen the early ones. Like I haven't seen those first couple ones.
I was gonna say I haven't seen anything before Lolita.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. Yeah, I mean, but it's crazy though because like literally, The Shining is one of my favorite movies. It's the rarefied movie that it's like The Shining. Besides Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, and all that. Yeah, Shining, Jaws. Like, there's just certain movies that I can just put on. They actually have this power of shutting off my ADD. Like, I don't feel that pull to like check my phone or get on Instagram. Like they just lock me in, and I need more of that in my life. So maybe Barry Lyndon will help.
That it's really strange that what you just said is like it's one of those it's like a test for like a real movie. You know what I mean? If you can sit through a movie that's like sort of slow and nothing crazy is going on and you don't feel the urge to like get up or whatever. I had somebody tell me today that they saw they watched Nosferatu over the weekend and they were like, and I've noticed Nosferatu is pretty
it's divisive, right?
It's very divisive. People are on both sides of the aisle, and a friend of mine watched it and he goes, it was okay. And he goes, I was expecting it to be way bloodier and gorier. And I'm like, why? Why would you think that? And he's like, well, it's like a vampire. And I'm like, yeah, but it's Nosferatu. It's like, if you've ever seen Nosferatu or any adaptation of Dracula,
yes,
why would you like, it's not a Blumhouse movie. It's
dark,
like
it's
a
poetic,
real
there's
director.
metaphor, it's literary.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, he's been hit a little by that like modern movie making is kind of
okay.
Needs it.
I thought the vampires were going to be more sparkly.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah,
I'm
a huge fan.
I would hard recommend Nosferatu. Well, by the way, made $40 million this weekend.
I took my mom and I was like, boy, there's a lot of weird sex in this.
Oh,
yeah, it's awesome. If a movie doesn't haunt me, it's not really fucking worth it. Like it can delight me, maybe make me happy, but I love being haunted by a movie.
Well, I thought it was great, and I thought all the performances were. We don't have to spoil anything, but like, if you were on the fence about it at all,
what do you mean spoil? What's to spoil? It's an adaptation of a
Dracula. Isn't it like public domain? It's out
Dracula.
there. It's fucking. We all know Transylvania.
It's literally so old that when the original came out, they didn't know how to do sound in movies yet.
Yeah.
There's no spoiling. Nosferatu. It's fucking Dracula.
That is so funny. That is really funny. He didn't even know how to do sound yet. The only way they could communicate the dialogue was like literally filming a fucking piece of cardboard that had words on it. I loved it. I think Eggers is fantastic. You guys remember when I put The Witch on my top 10 movies of the decade or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good movie. Yeah.
It's
That's a great movie.
And apparently he's going to do, the rumor is that he is going to maybe do Labyrinth.
That seems insane. That seems like so not up his alley.
I don't know. He said there was an interview with him today that said he thought Home Alone was one of the most perfect movies ever. So, and he's not wrong about that.
Sure.
Abby, where are you on a Labyrinth follow-up sequel reboot?
Well, I do enjoy the first one. I love the some of the chaos because I know that it wasn't a box office success. I absolutely live for the soundtrack. I love David Bowie. And I think that the firewalkers or firewalkies, I'm not sure what they're called. The guys with the lose their heads, the cute little puppets. I think those are awesome. And I love their I love the music from that movie. And I also love the costumes. Jennifer Connelly is really good. And I was actually just thinking, it popped in my head, like if they were to redo that, the girl from The Substance, the one that's the daughter of Annie McDowell, she would
Margaret
be pretty
Qualley.
good. Yeah, I could see her playing that role. Sure, maybe too old, but
we're thinking it's going to be a remake. Doesn't that sound insane?
There's no way
is it going to be a follow-up?
He's going to remake a musical that's originally starred David Bowie and a bunch of Muppets.
No, I think it's going to be a sequel or in the
like
in
something
the
different, veering off.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Jennifer Connelly's back. Why didn't you tell me my grandfather was the Goblin King? I don't know. I think that guy's kind of a visionary director, and he there was a rumor that, what was it? Originally Scott Derrickson was going to do a sequel to Labyrinth, and Alexander Skarsgård was going to play the Goblin King. And I think both Skarsgårds have worked with Eggers.
Yeah.
Both, as if there's only two of them.
There's
a lot. Well,
there's
Stellan
like
has
6 of them.
The main two. Pennywise and the blonde one.
Pennywise and the blonde one?
Yeah. Hey, Bill Skarsgård today said he wants to play the Joker. Of course he does.
Do it. Everything that he does, I love. Just love.
Well, listen, guys, we're about at an hour here, and when we do these streams, like, there's going to be, depending on topic, it'll never be less than an hour. Sometimes it'll, like Toy Anxiety, sometimes hour and a half, hour 45, and I don't know. I feel really good about this. I will say that the chat, like, people seem really excited about the live stream. We will, in the future, we'll do like super chats and we'll do Q&A and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I'm just excited. I feel like a good energy around this.
Yeah.
And I think there's no better way to close it out than doing our Joker 2 review.
Okay.
Are we
gotta talk about it. We got to talk about Joker 2.
It was bad. It was pretty bad.
Spoiler alert if we get into it.
It's not great. That's all I got to say about it. It's not good.
Fucking drudgery. I said I compared the movie experience to eating a bowl of lemons and rubber bands. My face looked like I was eating a lemon multiple times through this movie. I was just like, like, dude, why? The existence of this movie, the hopelessness of it, the depiction of like incarceration and being institutionalized, and having that shown in like just such a negative, abusive, like brutal light. It was not at all like accented by the musical numbers. Those did not make the beauty like in the balance of the film. It wasn't like, oh, terrible things and beautiful things like I like. It was just like really not great songs, really awkward, stilted musical numbers.
Right. They weren't enjoyable. Musicals should be enjoyable. Like they should be fun and enjoyable.
I'm a big old fan. And Lady Gaga's a fucking queen. Like, please let her shine. And it was just like snuff her out. Like the whole movie, I felt like she was getting done wrong. And I literally love her. And Jacob, I know you love her too. I don't know how you felt about that, but I felt offended. Like I don't want.
Love Lady Gaga?
I'll say it, but that's how I felt. Like I wish I had not seen it.
Jacob, if there's one thing I know about Jacob, he loves Lady Gaga.
No, you do. You love Adele too.
I wouldn't know where this is going.
Like, pumpkin pie.
Abby, I can flat out tell you right now, Jacob does not care about Lady Gaga at all.
I thought you liked Lady Gaga.
I don't know one single Lady Gaga song.
Why do I think that?
I'm not sure. I do like Adele though.
That's good.
Yeah, but I agree with everything you said. I even though I don't know any of her music other than like what is out there all over the place, I know she can sing well. But you wouldn't know that if you watched this movie because it's like they were like, do it worse or something. Like, I don't know. They just, the songs are very bad. They're not fun to listen to. Listen, I'll say this. And I told you guys, this is exactly what I told you after we were talking about it. There's one scene in the movie that I thought was very funny. It was maybe 5 minutes long, and you knew exactly what scene it was for some reason. Maybe because it's the only part in the movie that felt like the actor was having any kind of fun. It's the one scene where Joker, for like no reason, is speaking in like a Southern accent at his hearing.
Yeah,
and I was like, hey, if the whole movie was like this, it would maybe be different. This feels fun, but it was. I don't know. It was bad. I just thought it was bad. I thought the ending was dumb, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's not good. I can't even be contrarian, Craig, right now. It's just not good. And I liked the first Joker. I think I liked it more than you guys for sure.
Oh, for sure, you liked it more than me.
Yeah, I liked the first Joker. I think I own it. I think I paid something. I went to a store and said, "Money for one Joker, please."
Did you put makeup on?
Our risk of being Jokerized.
Listen, I'm fascinated by Joaquin Phoenix. I love watching great actors act. I did think his performance, like he gave it, like it's not, he didn't phone it in. The movie's not bad because the performances are like bad. It's just that I don't understand, like if Todd Phillips was trying to make some sort of a point, like if he came out and said, "Oh, I made a purposefully horrible movie.
Legal system is terrible because it's full of people who should be like getting mental help instead of like being incarcerated." Like if there was like a little bit of a political message, but there really wasn't. It was just no, and at the end, fuck it, fuck him, and fuck all this.
It really did feel like Todd Phillips was like, fuck Warner Brothers, fuck James Gunn, fuck DC, and fuck the audience. Mm-hmm. Like it felt like it was a real strong move there. I don't know. I don't get it. I just don't get what the movie was, because the first movie I was like, okay, they're setting up like an alternate version of the Batman universe, and like this movie, like Harvey Dent's in it, but it doesn't matter, and like Harley Quinn's in it and she doesn't matter. Like nothing matters. And I think another thing, like we had just finished watching all of Penguin, which was so good and so well done and so like, like powerful performances and a great story and world building and everything you want out of like a comic book property. Mm-hmm. And then you watch Joker and you're just like, what is it? Like,
it's just a mess.
A
big mess.
Yeah. Feels like a farce.
It's not something I'll ever revisit. There's no joy. It's not even like, man, it's like you can watch disturbing movies and get a lot out of it, but this wasn't even so much. It was pretty like drab and boring and just kind of meandered on. And then like the whole second half of the movie being the courtroom stuff was kind of like, I'm like, was this supposed to be like the last episode of Seinfeld? Like, what is this? Like,
yeah. And I think for me personally, like I'm a fan of Harley Quinn, the character. I really enjoy the HBO animated series that Kaylee Cuoco voices Harley Quinn on. So watching Harley Quinn's representation, because she is in canon like a therapist and a very educated person and like kind of a cool character in my opinion. Like but this watching her go through like putting herself back into the system just to like get just like catfish Joker, like date him. That was just something that I found I hated that storyline. And I just didn't like that depiction of Harley Quinn. I like to see my Harley like thriving and honestly dating Poison Ivy. So yeah.
Well, there was no Ivy in this movie.
I want to see her doing good. Yeah.
I think this is another thing that proves like not every movie needs a needs to have a sequel either. You know, whether you like the first Joker or not, whatever you think about it, I dislike it, but I can still watch it and see what they were trying to do, and I can acknowledge that there are a lot of people that like that first Joker movie, but that doesn't mean that we need to force. Like, he clearly did not have any kind of, vision for making a universe, or not, like, just make a one-off sometimes. It doesn't, we don't need to know what happens.
Yeah, we don't need to.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, we don't need to further explore, like, the human conditions, like obsession with serial killers and glorifying them and putting them on pedestals and making them celebrities. Like, it just wasn't. It wasn't even like messaging that was about that. Yeah,
it's very clear that Todd Phillips really likes the movie Taxi Driver and the movie The King of Comedy, which I had never heard of until Joker came out, and then I watched it a week ago for the first time. I watched it, and then after that watched Joker 2. Taxi Driver is a movie that I know is a popular movie, and I know a lot of people know of it, but I feel like regular audiences these days, kids probably don't know what Taxi Driver is. Like, movie people do, and maybe, older people, but like kids that are teenagers that are going to the movies today, they haven't seen Taxi Driver. So I guarantee you that Todd Phillips was like, oh, you know what? What if you did these two movies, but like as a Joker movie? And he thought it was a good idea. Whether you agree with him or not, he made the movie. But there's like, it's just.
No, because that's a mashup. You hate mashups.
I do, yeah.
You do.
I mean, both of those movies are good, though. Taxi Driver and The King of Comedy, I both thought were very good.
Yeah.
But...
Is there a lot of cigarette smoking in those movies? Because I haven't seen either one.
Yeah.
There was copious moments with Joker.
That's all it is.
Doing this the whole fucking time. Yeah. I will be happy never seeing that again.
Regardless of all that, it was one of the biggest bombs of the year, and
I'm glad. Honestly, I don't usually like when movies bomb and do bad, but I'm glad.
Yeah, and I recognize that people work on them. We appreciate everyone's hard work and all that stuff.
Well, even that actor, one of the actors, he's a comedian, Tim Dillon, came out and was like, "This is the worst movie that's ever been made."
Yeah,
he's in the movie. Yeah, I don't know. Let's not get into it this week, but maybe this is something we could touch on in a future episode. I think that the world of Warner Brothers, DC, James Gunn, Matt Reeves, there's some weird stuff going on over there. I know that they weren't involved with Joker 2, but let's not forget James Gunn once said that The Flash was the greatest superhero movie ever made. Listen, I get it. You got to promote the movies for the studio you run, but come on now. Well, listen, guys, this was fun. I appreciate everybody hanging out in the chat. We're not going to do any Q&A tonight, but thank you for being here. This was a ton of fun. Abigail, any final thoughts?
Thanks for hanging out and being here. To those who have been watching since the beginning, we appreciate you the most, probably. But if you're new to the show, I will eventually appreciate you as much as the people who have been here for a long time.
If you're new, you're going to have to work for that.
You got, dude, there's a little hazing. No, just kidding. There's none of that. We don't support that. Thank you very much. Hope you don't have to edit that.
I am not editing.
You're not editing anything. All right. Yeah, it's been fun. I like being live. It's fun to talk about stuff as it's happening. And I look forward to doing more live episodes on Monday nights.
Yeah.
So let's
Jacob, anything else?
Go see Nosferatu.
Go see Nosferatu.
Do it.
Absolutely. So we'll be back next Monday night. Everybody, tomorrow night, I think we're doing Toy Anxiety, a little New Year's Eve edition.
I want us all to dress up like the Bride of Nosferatu as like a theme.
What?
Tomorrow night? Like gothic vampires?
No shirts?
No, just like big necklaces.
Should we go all the way to midnight? Should we just do a live stream from 9 to midnight?
I want a theme. If it's goth, that's fine. If it's goth,
Abby today was like, "Hey, we should all wear capes for Toy Anxiety." I was like, "Oh, okay."
I have a cape. I have like a caped dress.
The day of.
Oh my god.
Yeah, let me go to Spirit New Year's Eve.
I know Party City's closed permanently.
Yeah, Spirit. They should have a Spirit should have every holiday have a store. Oh, dude, Spirit St. Patrick's Day is open. We gotta get over there. Happy New Year, everybody. If we don't see you on Toy Anxiety, have a safe New Year, and we'll be back next week with more Yes Have Some Podcasts live. For Abigail Gardner, Jacob Walsh, my name is Craig Goldberg. We will see you next time. Bye.
Be safe. Make it through the new year. To the new